Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Unless some feelings monitored constantly.
I'm late on my rent. These Jewish banksters have me in debt. I'm always super disappointed when I'm cashing my check. How sad can it get? A money slave trapped in the net. And I can feel these demons breathing down the back of my neck. Every single move I make is logged and tracked. I won't even use my phone, I know they got it tapped. Keep my eyes wide open, gotta watch my back. Never sleep again, I'm an insomniac. Just trying to survive, otherwise suffer defeat. So I'm hustling in the street just to get something to eat. Fuck the police, the government, and fuck the elite. This world is full of evil scum and overrun with deceit. So I gotta look over my shoulder constantly. Plus they try to control my mind subconsciously. But I'm a glitch in the system, I'm an anomaly. My middle finger's in the air, I know they're watching me. ODD.
Somebody's watching me.
Squirrels on some secret shit. The lions on the plane. Way out where you can see us live. Squirrels on some secret shit. The lions on the plane. Way out where you can see us live. 5G network, no sneaking out, no sneaking in. Log in and survey yourself and your closest friends. They building on us. Can't wait till we post the content to store our lives on terabytes and Library of Congress. The opposite to progress. Straightforward, cameras on me everywhere, yet they making me pay for it. I'm not feeling it, man. It's past my ability to understand why you won't get out and get it by any means. Smart home shut down by remote from the Philippines. Private home purchase, still a government facility. Cops with the body cam is still murking teens. So we gotta cut the head off the circle with the guillotine.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Unless some feelings monitored constantly. Somebody's watching me.
I'm on the next level, yeah, I know you heard about it.
Motherfucker.
You know I'm bout it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they staring though. Turn up the stereo, check it out, check it out, check it out. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this. I'm on the next level, next level, on the next level. They all trying to catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out. La 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 la, la 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 la.
Motherfucker.
You like that old school, back in the music, that shit is old news. I'm popping through the ceiling, that's my motto, that's my motto. I lead, they follow. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this.
Motherfucker.
I'm on the next level, next level, on the next level. They all tryna catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Humanity, auf Wiedersehen, it's time to say goodbye. The party's over as the laughter dies, an angel cries. Humanity, it's au revoir to your insanity. You sold your soul to feed your vanity, your fantasies and lies. You're a drop in the rain, just a number, not a name. And you don't see it, you don't believe it. At the end of the day, you're a needle in the hay. Your silence hid it, and now you gotta deal with it. Humanity, goodbye, goodbye. Be on your way. Adios, amigo. There's a price to pay for all the egotistic games you played. The world you made is gone. You're a drop in the rain, just a number, not a name. And you don't see it, you don't believe it.
Hi, everyone.
Hello and welcome.
Look what you did.
I'm on the wrong side of the screen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi. All right, we're gonna have to fix this. I guess I'll
Fine.
remove you and then bring you back in. I'm on the wrong side. There we go. That's better.
Sorry. I'm
All
having
right.
a
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We have 15 people here right now, and I have my other brother from another mother, Shapu, with me. How you doing, Shapu?
I'm doing fine. And you, Jen?
Doing well. We've been having some really nice weather here, and ironically, in Florida, they're having some really nice weather too, amongst all the destruction down there. I want to thank everybody who has donated to help my kids out down in Florida. It has been a tremendous help so far. Daryl Davis, Dana, Melanie, and a few other people. DJ also have donated already, and I appreciate the support. I am still taking donations for them and praying for everyone down there. They have upped the death total to 107 officially. That's conservative, I feel. Of course, this is speculation, but I think it's at least double that, and they're just kind of scaling it down. But I could be completely wrong. However, I don't think I'm wrong about the fact that this death toll is going to continue to rise. There are a lot of people that they cannot locate, whether they were there during the storm and stayed, or they were not at their residence and haven't been back down yet to Florida, say, snowbirds and stuff like that. But they have a large portion of people who are still unaccounted for. So we have to continue praying for everyone down there. And it's not going away anytime soon. As a matter of fact, there's other hurricanes that are on the way, and who knows where they're going to hit, but it really doesn't even matter at this point, because it's going to be a long time before they get back on their feet in Fort Myers, especially the Fort Myers Beach area. So we have to just stay vigilant, guys, and keep praying. That being said, my kids have gotten electricity back on in their area. I want to explain where they're at, because there is a little bit of confusion. When you talk about Fort Myers Beach itself, there is a part of Fort Myers Beach in the Bay Area that is called San Carlos Bay, or San Carlos, what's that? Yeah, San Carlos Island. My kids are not on San Carlos Island. They're in San Carlos Park, which is about, I don't know, maybe 20 miles away from the actual beach itself. So they're not very far away at all. When I lived there in San Carlos Park, I lived there for 8 years with my ex-husband, and my kids are still living there. My ex-husband's still there. But literally we were less than 20 minutes from the beach. As a matter of fact, the grade school that my son had gone to was very close to the beach area. And where I would drop him off in the morning at school, and I would park my car at the bridge, sometimes with my dog, and walk over the bridge, the Fort Myers Bridge, into Fort Myers Beach, and take a walk up and down the beach, and then come back and go home, because you're so close to the beach at that point, you might as well go. But I know this beach intimately. I went there for every day or every other day, and definitely every weekend for 8 years straight. And the last 3 vacations that I've taken have been to Fort Myers, except for Seattle when I just went to visit Ceiling Fan Man. But I always go down to Fort Myers Beach because that's where my kids are. As a matter of fact, the last time that we had gone, my sister and I, we had stayed right on the beach at the Lanikai Hotel. And if anybody knows anything about Fort Myers Beach, the Lanikai is the place to go. And it's just over the bridge. You make a left, and it's a few hotels down, and it's right there. So I know this beach intimately, and I wanted to share some footage in case you don't know what it looked like before the hurricane hit. We're going to look at some footage so you guys can see how beautiful and amazing Fort Myers Beach was, and it really was. It's really sad to see what has taken place there. It's devastated. It's beyond devastated. It's decimated, is what it is. So, Shapu, do you want to get into a screen share with that first video?
Yeah.
What did that? I didn't even see.
It was Natalie. She had flooding in Bangkok last week. too.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're praying for you guys too. Not a mud flood, more like a dirt flood. Wow. That's crazy, Natalie.
I don't know
Lot
if it's the monsoon season there, but you know,
Yeah, a lot of places get crazy monsoon weather and stuff where there's half of the vegetation on these mountains comes sliding right down onto and just bury a whole town under it. It's crazy. The saturation gets so thick that literally you see the trees and the land itself just moving together down a hill or down a mountainside, if that's what you want to call it, a mountain.
yeah.
And we're going to get into all that.
It seems like, if I think about it, it's not supposed to be like that way, you know, the original world, you know, having floods and things that could kill people, and it's not supposed to be, but
Absolutely, I agree. The
no,
hurricanes, tornadoes, they seem so unnatural to our environment. I definitely think something got screwed up after the last X Factor event, or as far as them being able to control the weather to a certain extent. There is patents going back to the 1800s that show this. Even JFK has mentioned it in his speeches about controlling the weather, and that was in the 60s. I mean, we're in 2022 now, guys. Imagine what they can do. And I'm not trying to give them more power than they deserve, but they do have technology that they have hidden from us. And we know that they've had the patents for them. So why can't they dissipate these storms? Why can't they steer them off? There was a hurricane that was supposed to hit New York City on 9/11. They managed to keep that offshore for long enough for it to pull off their event. So that's interesting. If they can do that, they can definitely ramp them up, dissipate them, or steer them, all three at the same time if they want it. And that's not an exaggeration. Just look at the weather patterns. We actually had something up, or you showed me something, Shapu, of them. I think it was you. You were showing me something of them making a tornado or something. Is that you?
no, it's not. It wasn't me. It was a CFM on the last show.
Oh, CFM. That's right. That's right.
It was the patents that they have for weather manipulation and tornado making and stuff. Yeah.
CFM, if you can send that to me, if you're listening, you should send that to me real quick. Because if they can generate a tornado, well, do you think it's that much of a stretch into the what if drawer that they could do hurricanes? I mean, I'm just saying. All right.
Sorry. She wants to be on camera, I guess.
Hey, Jinx. She knows when you're live streaming. Look at that face. Oh, my gosh. She's so cute. She always gets vocal when we go live. It's funny.
Always. I didn't hear her at all day. And now she's
like, "Meow!" I hear Jen's voice. "Meow!" Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into this video of Fort Myers Beach. What's up, Singe Man? I see you here in the chat. What's going on? Juan Torres is in the house. What's up, Juan?
Did you see that it's not share screen anymore? It's like present.
Oh no, it is. It changed to present. How weird is that?
No problem. Wow.
Okay, so where do we want to go from here? We're 28 minutes in. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk lately about Meltology on many fronts. And I just want to say, before we get started in all this, that if you don't get the whole Meltology thing, that's fine with me. I'm totally okay with it. I really don't care, to tell you the truth. What I do have a problem with is when people like to sling shit around and call people names and make fun of certain things. Do we pretend, or do I pretend to get everything right? Hell no. I know I make mistakes along the way. That's why I have you guys. You guys can help me point out the mistakes that I make so I can correct them. Sometimes you'll find memes or pictures going around that are photoshopped, and people believe that they're real and share them, right, without doing their due diligence or investigation. And yes, people do get things wrong. I've seen plenty of flat earth memes that the picture was doctored or photoshopped, or it was a deception in itself, and they were, you know, presented as a flat Earth proof of some sort or something like that. For example, somebody was showing recently about it was a house that was in the middle of a rock face, and how easily it would be to Photoshop something like that. Or is the narrative for it absolutely true? Was it actually built for hikers precariously on this rock face of a supposed mountain, right? Or is it actually a pocket of survival? And, you know, none of us are there. We can't go investigate it for ourselves. But what we can do is look at the narrative. That's where you should start first, is the narrative. Now, you have to ask yourself, well, how much of the narrative are you willing to buy? Because you already know that these mofos lie to us about everything, okay? So that you have to have that in your mind when you're looking at the narratives, okay? Because they're going to have to explain what this supposed house is doing up there, okay? Now, for me, the narratives don't make sense. I've looked at the narratives for this particular building that's on this precariously on the side of a mountain type rock face thing. And it's supposedly built for hikers, and it was supposedly a war bunker at some point, and this is why that there's tunnels all through this place. Convenient that the narrative fits that, you know, you got tunnels. Well, you got to explain the tunnels. There's shelters. Okay, well, you have this house that's there. Okay, well, it's for hikers, because hikers just might need to scale down this rock face and stay somewhere for the night. What I feel like's going on with that picture, if it is a real picture, a pocket of survival, that there was probably most likely some kind of pocket of survival there that they may have gone in and refurbished so it could be used for, say, somebody who wanted to risk their lives to go stay in that thing for the night or something like that, okay? Or maybe it's easy to get to and I'm not seeing the road that leads right to it. I don't know. The point being is that nitpicking about pictures is not going to do you or anybody else favor, okay? Because you cannot tear down all of Meltology because you don't agree with a picture and you think it's wrong and we got it wrong or I got it wrong or somebody else got it wrong, okay? There are clear evidences that we see on a daily basis. Now, I've been looking at this for 3 years now, okay? There are clear evidences of meltification that took place. Well, Jen, you say all mountains are melted buildings. Well, would you prefer if I said some mountains are melted buildings? Either way, even if there's just one mountain that is a melted building, that's pretty fucking profound, I gotta say, all right? But that being said, to understand the lie, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm just getting so worked up already. To understand the truth of what's taking place here and what has taken place, you must first understand the lie. And the lie would be the narratives that they put over these things. Geology being one of those narratives that they put over everything, which started in the late 1700s and was basically being taught as a subject of research in the mid 1800s, where you can actually get a degree in it. Okay, prior to that, nobody knew what these things were. Okay, so you want to follow mud flood. Mud flood's cool. You know, you're into mud flood and all this stuff. Where'd the mud come from? What happened? Was there some kind of event that moved in all this mud? Where did it come from? Mud flood, for me, led me right to melted buildings. Because clearly there was some kind of X factor event, some kind of something that took place that involved extreme heat and then extreme cooling. Because we see evidence of different levels of heat damage throughout, and then we see things that have solidified, literally solidified mid-melt. Whether it's on a house, a building, a mine, or a fucking mountain, you see it everywhere. And we've shown it here. Thousands of hours of live streams over the last 3 years. You've seen it here. So if anybody wants to poo-poo on our research and say that we're not good researchers and we don't do our due diligence, I have one better for you. I went to Ape Cave with Ceiling Fan Man and Genie. I saw nothing, and I climbed over nothing but red brick in that fucking supposed lava tube. I even picked up the bricks and showed you guys. There was brick everywhere. Everywhere I pointed my camera, there was brick in a lava tube. Are you going to explain that one to me? If you're a flat earther, clearly you must have let go of all the globe narratives. Clearly, if you are a flat earther, you must have let go of all the narratives that connect to the globe. Am I right? Because what kind of researcher would you be if you did not let go of these bullshit narratives? What kind of investigative research of flat earther are you if you're still attached to geology? How does geology work on a flat earth model? How does volcanology work on a flat earth model? What is volcanology? Is it even real? It's tied to the globe model, and we know the globe is fake.
Yes.
So what are these things? Well, if you've watched any of my shows, you may get an inkling of what the hell they actually are. I don't have to sit here and explain myself. My live streams speak for themselves. Again, like I said, to understand the truth, you must first understand the lie. How the lie works, why you're being lied to. Why is it so important to hide certain things from you? Well, why would they lie about flat earth? Why would they tell us they're on a spinning ball? What is their motive? And who has the means? The motive, for me, is because they're hiding God. If they're going to hide God, they're going to hide all things that go along with God. Okay? Now, this X Factor event, this extreme heat event that seems to have taken place some point in the past, whether it's not so long ago or really long ago, there was an extreme heat event. There's evidence for it everywhere. And if you can't see it, I can't fucking help that. But there is. And we've proven it. Clearly, there was some type of X Factor event, and we could actually call it a God's judgment. We're trying to figure out the timeline. We're trying to figure out how it all fits in. We're trying to figure out where we're at on the timeline. Where are we? What are we on? What time is it? How does all this work? And what are all these things that surround us? They've lied to you about everything, not just some things, not just the narratives that are convenient for you to dispense of, but all these other ones over here you're going to keep because they're good. Okay? They lied to you about everything. Everything. And you're just going to have to fucking deal with it, okay? Because the evidence is everywhere. Shapu, do you want to chime in here at all?
Yes, this place is made by an intelligent design. You know, there's has to be some kind of creator or something behind it. And if you don't follow this, then you will be just led to geology and all of this stuff because people cannot get it. It's been made for us, and it's been made by whom we don't know. That's what we call the God. But,
yeah, and they have the means and the motive to hide all of this through geology. So they give us the mainstream narrative geology. They start teaching geology to people. They start telling people what these things are and all this stuff like that. They have the means and the motive. And what's the motive? To hide God's judgment, to hide the X Factor event. You know why? I'll tell you why. It's because it seems to be in their benefit because they come out on top on the next X Factor event and they rule over us again. If they can keep us completely ignorant to it. Now, why would they want to do that? Why don't they just tell us, hey, something's coming? Well, clearly we are connected to this X Factor / God's judgment. We have a role to play in that. Now, this is advanced class, guys. I can't help it that you're all still fucking freshmen and you're just coming in the fucking door when we're on our way out and graduating. I'm sick of this shit. I am sick and tired of the name calling, the bullshit. We're living in Fantasyland. You're living in Fantasyland. Maybe you should cut back a little off the weed. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest here. I'm pissed and I'm a little bit hurt. But that's okay. I can get over it. I'm a tough cookie. I'm just saying, guys, we have to look at the bigger picture here. Okay? We've come to realize that not everything is tree stumps and giants, sleeping giants. I remember a time when everybody was on board that these things are tree stumps, and maybe some of them are. Some of them could be some kind of giant laying down. I really don't know. I have not the time nor the means to search out every mountain in the flat plain. I have neither the time nor the means to walk the earth to see if all of it's flat. From where I'm standing, it looks pretty fucking flat. Is it all flat? I don't know. Well, Jen, you're crazy if you think it's all flat. It can't be all flat. Do you see how ridiculous that fucking sounds? Do you see the tactics that are being used? The same things that people said to us about being flat earthers are the same things that the flat earthers are saying to people who see this melt everywhere. Quite frankly, you're insulting our intelligence. While you're sitting there on your high and mighty fucking throne, looking down at us, down your nose at us silly little meltologists over here. If you don't like what we're talking about, change the fucking channel. That's all I gotta say. If you're not ready for this level of truth, move on. Stay in your lane, stay in your flat fucking earth within your ice wall, and just stay there and smoke up. I'm cool with it. But don't sit here and put down my research, Shapu's research, and many, many other people and all these other channels for what we're looking at because you can't fucking see it. Are all mountains melted buildings? I have no fucking clue. But it's looking like a lot of them are. I've done thousands of hours of live streams on thousands of places across the plain so far. What I show on my show, I could say is definitively a melted building of some sort. It's not carved. Somebody didn't just climb up the side of a wall and build a house there. They're buildings. At the base of it all, you can see brick.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah. I was like, got a little rant going on there. I gotta get focused again, where I wanted to go with this, because there is a path I'm taking here. Let me see here. I don't want to. Oh, okay. All right. So here we go. Here's the narratives just a few narratives that are tied to the globe model. And I'm sure everybody in the chat here could think of many more narratives that are tied to the globe model. And put them in the chat if I miss any. Okay. So we have geology. Geology is tied to the globe. You have archaeology. Archaeology is totally tied to the globe because they have a timeline that they're taking you down. They want geology and archaeology work together like hot dogs and hot dog buns. Okay, you can't have one without the other. I mean, well, you could, but who wants to have a hot dog without a bun? Not me. I'm just saying. But you got archaeology who's talking about thousands of years, right? And 5,000 BC and 10,000 BC. Oh, wait. They rewound the stars to see if they line up with the Giza Plateau. And 10,500 years ago, guess what? They lined up. Buddy, I'm sorry, but you can line these stars up all fucking day, every fucking night, because you know why? They're not going anywhere. It's the sky clock. It's always right there. They're always going to line up, whether you put it on yesterday or 10,000 years ago. So there's that. Geology adds on millions and billions of years, okay? So you can't even wrap your head around what's going on. You're just like, okay, you're the authority. Oh, wait, space science with their billions of light years. Can you wrap your head around billions of light years? No, well, they're the authority. They know. Well, we know that's all fucking lies. You know space is a lie, so clearly billions of light years is a lie. But you still think geology is real. And you must still think that there are billions of years and millions of years for geology timelines must be real. Which then ties you back to the globe model.
Yes.
Mr. Flat Earthers, just saying. Okay. All space science is fantasy. That's where your fantasy land is. Space science, okay? Then you have volcanology. Volcanism is tied to the globe model. Why isn't anybody picking on me about my volcano videos? How I've proven that many of these volcanoes, if not all of them, I haven't seen all of them, but many of them have brick in them and statues in them and all kinds of crazy stuff going on that we've shown and proved throughout these live streams. Are you still buying the volcano lie, Mr. Flat Earther? Are you still buying that one? Maybe you're not the flat earther that you thought you were. Maybe you like your balls. You like those globes. Is that what it is? I don't know. Just saying. Fantasyland. Okay, what else we got here? The weather. Let's talk about the weather. The weather is tied to the globe model. If you look at a flat earth model and follow the weather, you can see the patterns. When they put it on a globe, they got the air currents, they got the sea currents. All this stuff is based on the globe model. GPS is based on the globe model. So all these narratives are fucking lies. How many more of them are lies? Well, what they have on TV is lies. The news is lies. So history's lies. So if history's lies, well, which part of history is that you believe? You believed World War I and World War II happened, and all these other things may have happened. Well, I've done live streams on World War I or World War II. The only thing I found with those photos is shiny boots and people posing. That's it. I couldn't find the war anywhere. It's all staged. When you start to realize that the historical narratives are staged, then you have to clearly ask yourself why. Why would they stage them? Why would they pretend to have war and not really have war? Why would they go around fucking shit up in the name of war? Are they destroying evidence? I'm trying to keep my cool here, guys. I'm trying to keep my cool.
Yeah, for what I have found, that's war. The war, that's what they do. They go there and destroy the evidence that they found under the war, like the war pretext, you know. But all these countries, they're all in it together, you know.
Yeah. I mean, somehow they all agree on the ice wall. They all get along down there. Somehow they all agree on the North Pole, and they all get along in space. Ice wall, fake narrative. Center of the Earth, fake narrative. North Pole, fake narrative. Space, fake narrative. And this is where they all get along. In all these Fantasyland places. All right, so people say all the time, you know, are all mountains melted buildings? Well, what is a mountain?
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Yeah.
Geological meaning. At all. It's a description of something. God melted the earth. God melted the mountains. God melted the buildings. God melted the cities. God melted the inhabitants of the cities. God melted the elements with fervent heat. If you take God and put X factor, it's the same thing. Except with what gets left out with the X factor part of it is that we have a connection to this X factor. And that's why it's God's judgment for me. Because it depends on where we're at and what type of spirituality we're at and what level we're at, how bad this next X factor or God's judgment will be. Now, a lot of people don't like to hear about God's judgment because they want to do what thou wilt and have all their fun and all this stuff. Well, go ahead, do all that. When God's judgment comes, when the X factor comes, you're probably not going to make out too well. I'm just saying. Hey, Tommy, what's up? Let me make you a moderator. You look better in blue. Okay, so that being said, we're going to look at a couple of things that I have for you guys. But before I do that, I just want to play this real quick.
Just how many, quote, natural formations are really just extremely weathered, once extremely large stone-built structures? Maybe there are many stone granite hills, and even maybe mountains that dot our earth, which were, before millennia of rain, grand structures of a forgotten people.
All right, what else did I have here? Okay. Okay, I think that's it for right now on that side. All right, Shapu. So we're going to bring up the video with the pyramids first. We'll get that all going. I'm sorry I'm not highlighting anybody's comments right now. I'm trying to stay focused.
Okay. Was it the Russian one?
No, hold on.
Or the
Let me scroll up here real quick. I thought I sent them back to you again.
yeah, do you remember the name of the video?
Yeah, I got it right. It's the I think it's this one. Let me make sure. Let me click on it. Okay, I think it's this one. The 25,000-year-old mountain-sized pyramid in Indonesia.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've got them all just lined up, but I don't know which one you want to start with.
Yeah, it's no problem. All right, guys, so we're going to take a look at this video real quick. Did you mute out, Shapu? Yeah,
no, but it works through my microphone.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
In 1914, archaeologists found an astonishing location in Gunung Padang in Indonesia. Two ancient stone mountains rest in this region, mountains in the form of pyramids. Their size is truly massive. Intrigued by their shape, this 1914 team initiated a series of test digs in the small likelihood that they were man-made. The proposition of these two huge land features actually being pyramids must have been virtually unthinkable to these initial explorers. Their subsequent excavation also concluded that the site was indeed a natural formation. However, fast forward 100 years of technological advances in archaeology, photography, ground-penetrating radar and satellite imaging, and we can now take much deeper looks at locations, gaining far greater insight than was possible a century ago. The archaeological societies are currently in a panic in regards to an expedition which is being undertaken to this very site. Over 100 years after its initial discovery and disregardment. What is interesting to note, a detail this team must be aware of, a detail largely suppressed and rarely discussed, is the fact that very ancient monuments rest upon the tops of each mountain, monuments that were later dated at 2,500 years old, and confirmed as artificial megalithic structures. The reason the archaeological community is worrying is due to their possible size. They would dwarf the Great Pyramids of Giza. However, the pyramids in Giza are in a very special location. They in fact rest on the center of the world's land mass. The question would be, why would Indonesia possess such ginormous pyramids? In 2010, geologist Dr. Daninata Wijaya, who earned a doctorate at Caltech, recognized the mountains as possible man-made pyramids and began to explore using ground-penetrating radar, seismic tomography, resistivity survey and other remote sensing techniques, as well as some direct excavation.
Pause it right there.
The results.
I want you to notice that they just pointed out two other pyramidal structures in the back. Not even mention, they're talking about the one here in the front.
Yeah.
But as you can see, there's more in the background. But we're going to continue.
Were immediately intriguing, producing evidence of deeply buried man-made chambers and yielding carbon dates going back as far as 26,000 years. This would make the construction prior to the last ice age. Such ideas are heresy to mainstream archaeologists. The archaeological establishment in Indonesia banded together against Dr. Nato Wijaya and his team, lobbied the political authorities, agitated locally and succeeded in slowing down, though not completely stopping, the further exploration of Gunung Padang. However, Dr. Nato Wijaya fought back, doing some high-level lobbying of his own, taking the matter to the president of Indonesia himself. There were further ways to do.
Pause that for a minute. Okay, so you guys just saw those mountains that are clearly pyramids. I'm going to show you guys something real quick.
Check this out.
We are driving to the ape caves. It's Jen
the Truth Seeker, Ceiling Fan Man, and Mrs. CFM.
It literally is like a pyramid. That is too much. Wow.
It's too much for me to take.
That is crazy. Look at that thing.
Pyramid, yeah. Let's see. See if we can get a little closer. I don't think we're supposed to go that way, so we'll go here. Look at that.
This thing, guys. It's just missing its capstone, it looks like.
Yeah, like they all do.
That thing is nuts. All right, back to the video. Just wanted to show that. They're not, they're not just there in this place here in Indonesia. They're everywhere, guys. There's one over there by where Ceiling Fan Man is. Well, actually, that's more towards Ape Cave where we were there. And I'm sure you guys have seen them around in your locations as well. They're not mountains. They're some type of building.
Yeah, there was one in Arkansas. We didn't show it, but the Pinnacle Mountain, it's called. And it's really shaped like a pyramid too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Indonesia, but just a couple of months ago, the final obstacles were lifted and Dr. Nato Wijaga and his team moved back onto the Gunung Padang site with full approval to go ahead with their work, including permission to excavate the concealed chambers. Although it may not be widely received, this excavation may be the most important currently being undertaken on Earth. Mainstream archaeologists are furious and have been lobbying to get the work stopped, fortunately to no avail. Preliminary excavations have produced results that prove beyond doubt that Gunung Padang is indeed a man-made pyramid of great antiquity. Even the relatively young layer so far excavated, the second artificial columnar rock layer beneath the megalithic site visible on the surface, has yielded dates of 5,200 BC, nearly 3,000 years older than the orthodox dating for the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. They are also firm indications from the original remote sensing and core drilling work that there is much older layers below. In short, it is now evident to all that the site is vastly older than the 2,500 years archaeologists had insisted upon for decades. Even the most hostile are now quietly reframing their assessment of the site and referring to it as a gigantic terraced tomb, which was part of the biggest megalithic culture in the archipelago. I will keep you posted.
All right, so that was that one. And then we're going to look at Sacred Tibetan Mountain.
Oh, yes.
Tibet, the roof of our world. Words do no justice to the untouched beauty of this far corner of Earth. A vast, mysterious, and sacred place, embraced and protected by miles of immovable mountains. Monasteries built many hundreds, sometimes thousands of years ago, stand in defiance of the elements, precariously placed among the clouds. Many of these very ancient structures are said to have been built on the remnants of once.
Here you can see a refurbished building, it looks like. It looks like most of it would come out of the melt, which would be what you see below the building, which would have been part of the building, but the heat comes up from the bottom and it chews its way up. You can see that there's a transition between what looks like rock and then the building itself. It almost looks like it's one piece. It's together. It's because it was, guys. When you looked at enough evidence, you could see the transition in heat damage as opposed to where it's not heat damage or the heat didn't make it to that point. From what it looks like to me is they probably refurbished this place up and still utilize it or use it for tourism of some sort.
Yes, and that's why that it's still there today because of the way it has been all fused together to the bottom, to the bottom of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Even grander ancient buildings, structures many religions attribute to the gods. Among the seemingly endless mountain ranges lay one mountain which is different, one which is special. It is believed by most of Tibet, and even further afield,
Pause it.
God
I don't think it's just one, and I don't think it's just one special one. I'm going to put that out there right now. If this thing here is a building that's all muffed up, it only begs to reason that most of everything around it was part of the buildings as well. I'm just saying, I'm putting that out there. Call me crazy. I really don't fucking care. And if you don't see it and you don't agree with it, that's fine too. But, you know, we're going to continue with this video and let it play out.
field that the god Shiva lay buried within this sacred mountain. According to ancient beliefs, this enigmatic Tibetan mountain represents the axis of the world, the stairway to heaven.
He's giving you the historical narrative and the folklore on this building. Okay. This is not a narrative that I agree with or anything, but the point being is that whatever this thing is, it's not a natural occurring geological feature. We're going to continue.
In many Eastern countries, Mount Kailash is considered the holiest place on earth. Some ancient sources even suggesting it is where one could find the mysterious city of the gods. It is indeed regarded within the climbing world as unascendable. A route has never been located and probably never will. Few have been brave enough to even go near this place in the past century. There may be some profound reasoning behind these ancient clusters of human beings, regarding this particular mountain over all others as sacred and as the resting place of a god. There may, however, be ulterior motives at play when it comes to the discouragement of climbers in attempting the peak. A team of Russian scientists, intrigued by the history and a possible suppression of its true nature, have suggested after covert explorations that the top of Mount Kailash is not a natural formation. It is actually the remnants of a giant man-made pyramid of great antiquity. Just how old this pyramid could be currently remains unclear. What also remains unclear is if the entire mountain is a man-made pyramid, disguised by the erosion of many millennia. The research team claimed, quote,
Let's pause that. The erosion of many millennia, I do not agree with that. I feel that it was an X Factor event that did this whole area in, not millennia of erosion. That's a geological narrative, and I don't buy that part of it. I want you to see, though, that they are saying in an agreement that this is a man-made structure and not a naturally occurring mountain. I don't even think mountains are naturally occurring. Because then you would have to go into tectonic plates. And guess what? Your tectonic plates are based on your ball model. Okay?
Yeah. Erosion is not what they have told us, you know.
Yeah, I'm not discounting that there is erosion and those types of things that take place during heavy rainstorms and loose material and all that crap like that, but not to the extent of this is what I'm saying over millennia or thousands of years, however you want to put it. But we're going to continue.
Is horizontal with the layers of stone slightly varying in color. The dividing lines show up clear and distinct, which gives the entire mountain the facade of having been built by giant hands of huge blocks of reddish stone.
Pause it. Huge blocks of reddish stone. Gee, I don't know. That sounds like red brick to me. I'm just saying. All right, we're going to continue.
A mysterious claim put forward in regards to the mountain concerns rapid aging when in the area. After spending 12 hours in the region, the length of nails and hair was equal to 2 weeks of normal growth in some cases.
Now, see, we're going to pause it there. To me, that sounds like some kind of radiation or something. I'm not sure what that's all about. The whole thing with your hair and nails growing quickly, time itself seeming to have a warp to it in this location. I don't know what this building would have been originally and what its original function was. Some people want to say that this was the original Tower of Babel and that there may be some kind of technology within it that is still emitting some kind of frequency, but maybe it's Baroque and not working right. I don't know. Just saying. We're going to continue.
Yeah, if it's what they say, it is a major like part of the plane, like energy grid, you know.
Right, the grid system, yeah.
And it probably just around this place is the electromagnetics is just crazy.
Exactly.
Within it, leading to the legendary kingdom of Shambhala. Legend also states that when the ice on its peak finally melts, it will reveal the eye. Professor Ernst Muldashev,
All right, so we're
a
gonna
doctor and
that's good. We're gonna go just right there's fine. All right, so where did I want to go from here? There was one that I had, Shapu, that I thought I sent you. It was about, I think it was the guy, oh, maybe I didn't send it to you and I just showed it to you. The guy was talking about the Tower of Babel. Yeah, I don't think I sent that one to you.
Oh, the tower. Yeah, I got it.
You do?
It's like the 2 of 6.
Yes,
Is it?
2 of 6. That's the one. I want to listen to this one next.
All right. Do you want to finish this one?
No. This is fine. We can stop here. He just goes into talking about Shambhala and the other place. All right, guys, we're going to listen to this real quick.
It is it fact or fact? The Tower of Babel, shrouded in mystery. Is it fact or fairy tale? Without the tower, it's simply a matter of faith. Are there enough clues in the Bible, Jasher, and Jubilees to find its location? Let's check it out. Genesis 11, the whole earth was of one language, and as they journeyed east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and dwelt there. And they had brick for stone and slime for mortar, and said, let us build a city and tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And the Lord confounded their language and scattered.
Pause it right there. Did he just say brick and slime for mortar? The last video we just watched said it was made of huge red stones. Just saying. We're going to continue.
Brick as stones and slime for mortar. That's what it,
of all the earth. Jasher 9 says 600,000 men went to seek an extensive piece of ground to build the city and the tower, and they saw in the whole earth and found none like one valley east of the land of Shinar, about 2 days' walk. Now this brings some confusion because it says 2 days' walk, but it's simply stating that the chosen location for the tower was a 2 days' walk east of Shinar, and they sought the whole earth and settled in this region. But we don't know the territory of Shinar for the confusion of the languages, and you can't search the whole earth in 2 days. And they journeyed there and dwelt there. It goes on to say how God destroyed the tower. The earth swallowed up 1/3 part, and a fire descended from heaven and burned another part. And the other third is still here to this day, and its circumference is a 3 days walk.
All right, let's pause it.
Jubilees 10.
A third of it is still here today as a reminder of God's judgment, guys. And it's the same as we see throughout the plane. There was an X Factor event. There was a God's judgment. At some point, something happened where there was a God's judgment that took place.
Yeah.
We're going to continue.
Peleg took a wife whose name was Lamna, the daughter of Sinar, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Ru, for he said, behold, the children of men have become evil through the wicked purpose of building for themselves a city and tower in the land of Shinar. They departed from the land of Ararat eastward to Shinar, for in his days they built the city and the tower, saying, let us ascend thereby.
An interesting part is when he said that the men became sinners when they built their own cities. You know, so who built the cities that were there before if it's not men, you know? So
exactly.
It's a nice question to think about it.
Into heaven. They made brick with fire, and the clay with which they cemented them together was asphalt, which comes out of the sea and out of the fountains of water in the land of Shinar. One thing is clear, that the writers of the Bible, Jasher, and Jubilees were not participating in the building of the tower. So just who was taking the 3-day journey around the ruins of the tower, and does this tradition continue today? So they went east from Ararat and searched the whole earth and found an extensive piece of land about a 2 days walk east of Shinar. Now this is where most people get confused because they focus on Shinar. The Shinar is a place where God brought global confusion and confounded the languages. And as new generations were born, Shinar would have become smaller as they built cities and renamed them the area after their children or occurrences. Genesis 10, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families and their nations. We talked about this in the days of Peleg, Gog, and Magog. Jasher 10, Peleg died in those days in the 48th year of the life of Abram, and all the days of Peleg were 239 years. And when the Lord had scattered the sons of men on account of their sin at the tower, and all the sons of men were dispersed unto the four corners of the earth, some of them built cities and places from which they were afterward extirpated, and they called these cities after their own names or the names of their children or after particular occurrences. So since we don't have an ancient map, let's just follow the clues and find the tower, because it says it's still here and it reaches into the clouds, and we know where Ararat is. So what does the tower look like? Genesis 11, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly, and they had brick for stone and slime for mortar, and let us build a city and tower whose top reaches unto heaven. So the word tower in Hebrew is migdalah, which means tower or pyramid. And the Hebrew for heaven is shemayim, which means the sky, aloft, the visible arch in which the clouds move. Jubilees gives its height at roughly 10,000 feet. So to summarize, it's a pyramid made with brick reaching into the clouds, a stairway to heaven, an unknown distance east of Ararat. 1/3 of it remains. It retains its height, is surrounded by large amounts of both fresh and salt water. People walk around its ruins in some sort of pilgrimage that takes 3 days, and it's still here to this day. While watching a video on YouTube, I heard about a pilgrimage dating back thousands of years where 4 religions journey to their holiest mountain in the world to walk around it in a religious ceremony, and it takes 3 days to walk around it. And that mountain is Mount Kailash. And when I heard it, it was as if everything stopped, and I knew I had to find out more about this mysterious mountain. It was easy to find, as a Russian scientist studied the mountain for a month and concluded that it is a pyramid of great antiquity, built with huge stone. The largest pyramid in the world, it is about 22,000 feet in elevation, but around 13,000 at the base. Most holy mountain to the Hindu, Buddhist, Tibetans, and Jains, who say that it is a stairway to heaven, and one day the snow will melt, revealing the eye atop the pyramid. This is interesting if you look closely at a $1 bill. The Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah. And Noah lived to be about, or died about the same time as Peleg. And the earth was divided in the days of Peleg at the Tower of Babel. Which I covered in the days of Peleg, Gog, and Magog. There is a saltwater lake and a freshwater lake close to the mountain, and 4 rivers originating from this region. And it is, in fact, east of Ararat. And if the people were scattered from the Tower of Babel, you would expect the surrounding populations to reflect that. And indeed, the largest populations in the world are India and China. And Mount Kailash is smack in the middle. It is also interesting that the builders of the Tower of Babel fled here to avoid wars, and the 4 religions that hold Mount Kailash as a sacred mountain are among the most peaceful people on earth. Kailash has a height of 6,666 meters. In addition, the distance from the mountain to the monument of Stonehenge in England is 6,666 kilometers. To the North Pole is 6,666 kilometers, and to the South Pole is twice that of 6,666 kilometers. The axis connecting meridians of Kailash with the Egyptian pyramids goes straight through to the eastern island where the legendary stone statues are located. Since ancient times, Mount Kailash was worshipped by the Eastern cosmologies as Mount Meru, the axis of the physical and metaphysical universe, and therefore was sacred for 4 religions. The Kailasa Temple is south of Mount Kailash in the Ellora Caves and is a temple to the god Shiva, which is believed to be buried in Mount Kailash. 600 miles north in China, an ancient diagram was found hidden in Magayo Caves that describes Mount Meru as a stairway to heaven. Mount Meru is Mount Kailash. So it's clear that they spread out from the Mount Kailash region, with the diagram found in the cave 600 miles north and the Kailasa Temple to the south, both pointing back to Mount Kailash. The diagram appears to resemble a modern-day particle accelerator. If you enter particle accelerator in YouTube, you will see the Hadron Collider, or CERN, which, in their own words, is an attempt to make a stargate or wormhole, which could be translated as a stairway to heaven. So what were they trying to build at the Tower of Babel? Jasher 9, when they were building the tower, they cast the arrows towards the heavens, and the arrows fell upon them filled with blood. And when they saw them, they said to each other, "Surely we have slain all those that are in heaven." And the Lord smote the 3 divisions that were there, and he punished them according to their works. Those who said, "We will smite the heaven with arrows," the Lord killed them. And the 3rd division who said, "We will ascend to heaven and fight against him," the Lord scattered them throughout the earth.
We can pause it there.
So was the Tower of Babel an attempt to open a gate?
So basically, you get the gist of that, and I'm just going to click this again.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Yeah, babe. You did this one.
Do they not find any guidance when they see how many cities that God destroyed? So they are now fallen into ruin, and they walk among their dwellings. So travel through the land and observe how the end was for the criminals. They were not availed at all by their gods when the command of God came. So have they not traveled through the land and seen how the end was for those before them? God destroyed everything over them, and there is something comparable for the disbelievers. So travel through the land and observe how the end was for the criminals. For God has already destroyed what surrounds you of cities, and God has explained the signs so that perhaps they might return from disbelief. For God destroyed Ad and Thamud, and it has become clear to you from their ruined dwellings. And Satan had made their deeds pleasing to them and averted them from the right path, and they were endowed with perception. And God destroyed Korah and Pharaoh and Haman. And Moses had already come to them with clear evidences, and they were arrogant in the land, but they were not outrunners of God's punishment. For how many gardens and springs did they leave behind, and also crops, and noble sites of pyramids and comforts, wherein they were amused. Then do they not find any guidance when they see how many generations God destroyed before them, as they walk among their dwellings? Indeed, there are signs in that for those of intelligence. For Sodom is situated on an established road. Indeed, there is a sign in that for the believers. For you pass by them at dawn and at night. Then will you not use reason? And the companions of the thicket were also wrongdoers. So God took retribution from them, and both ruins are on a clear highway. So how many cities did God destroy while they were committing wrong, so they are now fallen into ruin, and how many abandoned wells and how many lofty palaces? So have they not traveled through the earth and have hearts by which to reason, and ears by which to hear? For it is not the eyes that are blinded, but it is the hearts that are blind, which are within the chests. For you lived among the dwellings of those who wronged themselves, and it had become clear to you how God dealt with them. And God set forth many examples for you. So travel through the land and observe how the end was for those before. Most of them were polytheists. And God did not wrong them, but they wronged themselves. And they were not availed at all by their gods which they invoked other than God when the command of your Lord came. And they did not increase them in anything other than ruin. And thus is the seizure of your Lord when he seizes the cities while they are committing wrong. His seizure is indeed painful and severe. Indeed, there is a sign in that for those who fear the punishment of the hereafter. That is a day for which the people will be collected, and that is a day which will be witnessed.
All right, Shapu. So I had you get a couple of folders ready that we were going to look at tonight. Do you remember the first folder we were talking about? It was that building.
Yeah, it was the same place of the current mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same place. But
we're going to take a look at that.
Yeah, for me, it was just another place that's a Mount Comfort Mountain Pyramid. It's the Bosnian Pyramid. I don't know if anybody just look at it, but
yep, that's another one.
What'd you say there?
That's another one, the Bosnian Pyramid. Yeah, because they all thought that was a mountain. A lot of people still think it's a mountain, but it's clearly a pyramid.
Yeah, because they found a lot of structure everywhere around it, underneath,
and all of these structures that are pyramids or other types of buildings, they're all melted in some way, guys. They've all been through the X Factor event. We're not just pointing out that these mountains are actually buildings. We can also point out that they're melted and have heat damage on them as well.
But do I have it? No. All right.
Yeah, Daryl, you missed a lot. I had a big rant in the beginning of this, so you probably want to rewind when you get a chance anyway.
All right, so we're going to look at pictures from the surrounding area of this mountain that they were talking about in Tibet.
Yes.
So this is the mountain.
Mount Kalash.
Yes. And you can already see these structures. Yeah.
Yeah, let's zoom in on that. So you can already start to see, of course, you got the layering going on, but you can see that it has some type of melt that took place. If you cannot see that that looks melted, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but it has the effect of it that it's been melted, okay? And also they talked about some kind of asphalt that was on this place or part of the building materials, and this has a very asphalt type look texture to it.
Yeah. Again, same place.
Wow, look at this. Okay, you can see layering going through it. See that white line going straight through it, just above where you're pointing? There's a thin white line that runs across everything.
Oh, here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one there. Okay, that is not a sedimentary layer, guys. This is part of the building. If you're still stuck on sedimentary layers, you need to ask yourself if you're really a flat earther.
Yeah, you can see it. It continues on like this.
That's right. That's right. It sure does. And we see these signs everywhere, not just this location, but I'm going to give you this location because even they are admitting that this is a building. Okay.
And it's rounded, you know, it could have been like a big tower right here. But we're going to look at what is around the place.
Wow. Look at this. So how close is this to Mount Kalesh?
Not too far, because these are the places that they go to make the pilgrimage.
So these would be the cities around the Tower of Babel, if it is the Tower of Babel. Whatever tower this thing was, Pyramidal Tower, these are the cities that were around it.
Yes.
And yeah, that looks like it's melting like ice cream. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the way this heat traveled up through here. Now, these buildings definitely look like they have been refurbished or maybe even built up a little, but you can still see some of the old construction, like right there in the front with those columns right there. Yes, look at that. That to me looks original.
Yeah. Probably is too, yeah. You can see like closer look.
Yeah, look at that. You can see that it was all melty looking.
Yeah, look, it engulfed this building, you know.
Right through there, yeah.
Looks like there was a window at some point.
Yeah, I mean, are you really going to build that there, guys? You think you're going to just build a half a window right there and look out at like a piece of rock, like a half a window? I mean, think about it. You got to think this stuff through, guys.
Again, same spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what are these little dog houses for their dogs? Is this dog land right here where they kept the little dog houses? Maybe they just carved these out and put their pets on them at night. Is that what they did? I mean, look, let's just zoom in right there. There's brick on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. Just, yeah, all there and above and off to the left of that arch, all there above the arch, there's brick. Okay. So you're telling me they carved it and then they said, oh, halt all carving. We need brick right here. I just don't get it. This was melted, guys. An extreme heat event melted this stuff, and you're seeing little pockets of survival, arches, windows, little doorways. That's what you're seeing here. What's left over after the melt.
It looks like we didn't show the video that had the Waka del Sol, you know.
Right.
I think it's right here. If nobody knows about what I'm talking about.
Yes, we got to show that.
It's this place. Waka
Of its construction, along with the currently recognized number of builders involved, is, regardless of these facts, still stubbornly claimed as having been built by the so-called Mochi civilization between 100 CE.
Here you can see a cutaway of the building, whether it melted away and fell off, which looks like what happened here. Needless to say, though, you can see layer upon layer upon layer of brick. Now, a lot of people say they can't understand how these mountains could have been buildings because they're so thick and all this stuff like that. Like, where's all the rooms and doors? Here's an actual building that they built that is still intact enough to be called a man-made structure, has not melted down to the point where they could say it's just some little mountain range. And you can see layer upon layer upon layer of brick. So clearly they have to have a narrative to go with this layer upon layer upon layer of brick, because other than that, they would have to explain, what this thing is and why would they make it like this. To me, this was a clear component on the grid system. If you have something this large made of brick in your area, then you have one giant supercapacitor there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Boom.
then they are not tombs, you know. That's
They're not,
the narrative.
they're not
yeah.
temples. They're still telling you that the fucking pyramids are tombs.
Yes. Yes, I'll continue just this part because they say like an interesting fact.
To 800 CE. Located upon the northern coast of Peru, the temple is one of several ruins found near the volcanic peak of Cerro Blanco. The other major ruin at the site is the nearby Huaca de la Luna.
Yeah. Can see that at the bottom what they say. You know, they say the level of erosion makes the structure appear geological, but you know, we know it's all bricks.
Exactly. Let's just sit on that for a minute. The level of erosion, which I do not feel like this is erosion. This is part of the melt, okay? But they say it's erosion, and then they say that it makes the structure appear geological.
Yeah. The erosion here is just the loose part that the melt and the heat from the melt just made the bricks and the structure like brittle. Like this is what they call erosion. That's the only part that will just, because it's so small.
And it's very dry and arid here in this place. There's not a lot of erosion going on, guys. They don't hardly get any rain out here.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
All right.
A better preserved but smaller temple. According to academic opinion, by 450 CE, 8 different stages of construction had been completed on the Huaca del Sul. The technique was additive. New layers of bricks were laid directly on top of the old. Hence, large quantities of bricks were required for the construction. Archaeologists have estimated that the Huaca del Sul was composed of over 130 million adobe bricks.
Let's pause it there. 130 million bricks. Now let's talk about the adobe part of it. Shapu, I'm going to let you answer this question.
Yeah, they say adobe bricks now because they don't see it like the redness of it, but it became this color and looks like mud because it has been so heated that it lost all of its brick properties, you know. So they think that they call it adobe and mud bricks, but mud bricks cannot last that long, you know.
Exactly.
And they probably get crushed under sheer weight of the structure, so it cannot be.
All right. Do you want to continue with this one, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think there's like just a minute of this place, I guess.
Okay.
A Colombian adobe structure built in the Americas. The number of different makers' marks on the bricks suggests that over 100 different communities contributed to the construction of the huacas. Yet, regardless of the clearly astonishing ancient feat that this structure was, largely attributed to be the remains of an ancient pyramid, the facts surrounding the past true purpose of this structure is merely ignored in favor of an attribution to a more modern ancestor.
I mean, look at the thing in the background, for Christ's sake. Right?
Yeah, it looks so melted, you know. It's
Yeah, it looks like a melted pyramid.
yeah.
All right.
That just buried all the ones that were down there, you know.
Yeah, it melts down over stuff.
Yes. So I think that's it for this video, because it reminded me of, you know, of this place, you know. Look,
That's right. Look at that, guys. Just look at it.
it's
Now
the
let's
same.
zoom in on those apertures in those different levels there. Yeah, you were just scrolling across it. Look at all these openings and windows and walkways and stuff, it looks like here, that are still peeking out. Haven't crushed down all the way on itself.
Yes. But if you go down, you can see like these bricks.
Bricks. Lots of bricks. And some tech up there, which somebody probably stuck that up there later.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing anymore. No. This is what already showed.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Same mountain.
Mount Kailash.
Yes.
Or Kailash, however you say it.
You can see the rock curtain, just that fall, that the parts that have fallen off.
Mm-hmm. And we did show recently that one place in India where there was an earthquake and part of the rock fell away from itself. And oh, lo and behold, there was a doorway under this piece of rock. It was like a rock curtain and it shimmied off of it during an earthquake. And there was a perfectly shaped door there. Oh, look at that. All right, let's go to this one here in the front. Right here. Look at this, guys. Okay. This should give you an idea of what they try to tell us are sedimentary layers. Okay. You can see the layering right here of the brick lines. You can still see the mortar left in there between each brick line. This is melted. You can still see some of the red even.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you look at what's in the background there, way up in the background. And you look at that and then look at this right down in the lower left-hand corner. Compare the two yourself even.
Yes. You can even see go there, go there. See apertures everywhere. This place, it's like a Sodom and Gomorrah, there's not only one. They tell us that there's only one place like that, but it was worldwide.
That's right. It was plain wide. Let's go zoom in a little tighter on these apertures here and all these openings. Look at all this stuff here, guys. You can see it all the way up the mountain and all the way down it.
All of this.
Wow. I don't know. If you can't see that that's melted, I just don't know what to say because it's clear as day what it is.
Yes.
When did this happen? I have no idea. I don't think it was that long ago. Could I be wrong? Sure. But I don't think I'm wrong about the fact that these are melted buildings and not some carved structures, what they try to tell you, like Turkey and all this stuff like that. These were buildings that have melted down during an extreme heat event that took place. They're not only hiding God, they're hiding God's judgment. They're hiding God's creation. They're hiding everything.
Yeah, they need to, because if you knew that in like probably 200, 300 years that all of this, because of what we've done, just will be erased and come back, so you wouldn't listen to anyone that tells you what to do, but they have to make you believe that nothing happened and space is real and all of this bullshit.
Yep.
You can see here that the remains of the buildings, these openings. But if you look just beside this place, looks like just a regular mountain.
Right. So there's no pockets of survival really to see what it was over there.
No.
It's melted more. It's closed up more on itself. But it looks like there's some. If you really look around, you'll probably see some. Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Even when John Levy goes walking around in his no man's land out there, and I got pictures from his videos, screenshots, where you see the same openings, the same apertures of what looks like different levels on a building and windows and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not sure why this one. Maybe it's just an area. I don't know.
Look at how Grand Canyon-ish it looks, too. It looks very Grand Canyon-ish.
Yes. You can see that. Probably.
Now, if you just sit there and look at that right there, and imagine the river, say that's the street between these two buildings here, and that this was a little area of a town where people lived, and these buildings were much higher and elaborate and ornate and all that stuff. And then it was destroyed, and now it looks like this. It was decimated.
Yes.
Again, look at this. It's a melted fucking building all day long, every day of the week, like CFM says. Every day of the week.
Yes. No, I cannot see anything else anymore, you know. Look at this.
Motherfucker.
This one is just so telling. You can see bricks remains everywhere. You know.
Yep. So the narrative of these types of things is that primitive people carved them out, or monks climbed up here and carved them out because they wanted solitude and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I know. Just
I almost think I saw some melted steps over there.
where?
It looked like it was to the right a little bit. Right. Keep going right there, right in that area.
Oh,
Maybe. Yeah. It looks like there could be some steps in there. Maybe that's, like in that area there. I wasn't sure. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, they need to have some, somewhere.
But you can see that if you dig into this stuff a little, there's brick. You can see where some of the stuff, the outer shell of it has broken off, and you can see right angles everywhere.
Yes. It's just amazing.
Which means it's not a mountain that was carved. It's a building.
Look at this part. You can see the inside of it.
Oh, yeah. I got my magnifying glass out.
Yeah. This one has been closed.
Some people say, well, what's the big deal? How's this changed my life? What does it even matter? Well, I used to hear that about flat Earth when I would talk to globies. Oh, well, who cares? I don't care. Well, you cared 5 minutes ago when NASA was telling you you're hurtling through space and an asteroid's about to kill you. But now you don't care. What difference does it make in your life? It makes a huge difference in your life if you figure this stuff out and you start living better, living right, and realizing that something went really, really wrong in the past. And there was clearly some kind of event that took place that destroyed most of our plane.
Yes.
Look at that. What's that, a windbreaker? Is that a windbreaker?
Yeah, just the windbreaker on top of the...
Oh, zoom in on that, though, because just on the other side of that brick going across the roof looks like more brick. Yeah. Look at all that.
Yep.
Look at it.
Let's see. Those rooms inside made of bricks.
Wow. Look at this. These buildings with their terracing and their layers remind me a lot of the temples in India. The way their temples are layered.
Yes. This is the pyramid.
Yep.
You can still see some structure. You can see all the layers, bricks. There would have been like many of them. I think this is the part of look, it goes like a rounded.
Yeah.
They say like the mirror that they called. But you can clearly see there's some kind of structure, tower.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I wish we could see it with all the snow off of it. I can't find any pictures of it with no snow.
I think I've got one.
Really?
No, not this one. There's the snow maybe just on top, but not the rest. So, but you can see like this was the pyramid. Look how deep it goes.
Wow. That's incredible.
And this is the other side. There's two of them.
So if you don't think all mountains are melted buildings, but you think some mountains are melted buildings, maybe you should do a show on it and point out the ones that you think are. or just point out, what you think's melted and what you think isn't. I would love to see your videos on it. I'm just saying, if some of them are, maybe like a handful are or whatever, or, it's not that big of a deal that you even cover the topic. But the point is that you keep bringing it up on your shows. And if you think I'm talking about you, then I probably am. Okay. So there's that. But what I have to say is thank you. Thank you to all of you YouTubers out there who create content and have your own shows and keep bringing up Meltology. Thank you so much, because you know what you're doing? You're bringing so many people over to our channels to see what the hell is up with all this Meltology. And guess what? They're seeing it. You have a lot of closet Meltologist meltheads in your chats and watching your shows, and you have no idea. I have an idea, but you have no idea. So I would like to say that since I started this new channel, just in the last 2 weeks, I've gone up 200 subscribers. So thank you. Thank you for mentioning all this Meltology stuff on all of your shows, all of you guys.
You're already at 500.
That's right. And every day it's new subscriber, new subscriber, new subscriber. So keep mentioning it. Keep talking about it.
Yeah, do you see, Jen? This is like the bottom of it. Like, it's melted and smooth, and just like in India, you said.
Right.
Like there's even like a rock curtain over something.
Wow.
And again, same place.
Let's zoom in on the left-hand side. Yeah, right all up in there. See how you could see how it was like it was squishing down on itself, and then it was starting to like maybe even almost rock curtain, but it got solidified.
Yeah.
Yep.
This straight edge.
Look at that. Wow. So Russian scientists have been to this site, clandestine, okay, because they're not really allowed to be poking around here, and they have determined that this is some kind of pyramid, a man-made structure. Russian scientists say that, not Jennifer, Russian scientists.
Yeah, I have the video, but it's in Russian, so
yeah.
Don't have it.
Wow.
I know I have like a picture of, look, this one has less snow on it.
Wow, that one's crazy looking.
Yeah, you can see the pocket here.
Look at that little pocket of survival right there. What is that?
I don't know. There's one here that didn't get covered fully.
Yeah, we don't know what this structure looked like in its full glory. We don't know what any of this looked like, but it has pockets of survival throughout, which is a telltale sign that it is a building. And, when you see it in this form, it's hard to imagine that it was a building because you're seeing it, the bare bones of whatever this building was. Like right here, zoom in on this. Let's zoom on this bottom part here. There's a pocket of survival right there. It looks like an archway that survived, some kind of opening there.
Yeah.
Right. But the rest of it's all melted, guys. But you can clearly see that it was a structure of some sort. You can even see the brick layers.
Yeah, there's like a room right here,
Yep. And even off to the left there, all that stuff there. Right there, yeah. Look at all that.
Yeah.
It's just like what they do in Turkey. They refurbish these things because they were originally dwellings anyway. They were already buildings. They're melted down. They have openings and spaces within them. So they go in, they refurbish them, they use them, they live in them.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. That is cooked.
Yeah. You can see like remains. You can probably find yellow bricks. You see these yellow bricks?
Yep, I see them.
No, I know that like is it the same one with the line? No, it's not the same. It's right there. We can see that there remains buried everywhere.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Vesuvius stuff.
Yes, yes, the buildings on Vesuvius.
Yep.
You can see it's right there.
Look at that. Yeah, because zoom in on this little doorway there. What? Who's living there? You gonna walk out your front door to what? Nothing? Just gonna step off a cliff?
Yeah.
That's a little pocket of survival. I don't think it's a bomb shelter. I don't think some hikers just stuck it there so they can, I'm just saying. Occam's razor, guys.
This. Yeah, now you can really see like melted. It's the top part of it. All of this, you can see that the terracing air clear them up.
Yep.
Again, closer. It's still in winter. There's like a pyramid right here on top of the other one. But must be like another part of this building, that is connected.
Right. So now people are looking and they're saying, well, how can all this stuff in the background be buildings, melted buildings? Well, this one, the biggest one here in the area, is admitted a building. Okay, that's all muffed up and only a quarter of its size now compared to what it was. So what makes this building that's admitted by scientists any different than all the other stuff around it? Just like Sodom and Gomorrah. We should look at Sodom and Gomorrah next.
What is that?
Oh, that's interesting. Is that like a doorway? What is that? It looks like some rock curtain came off of it, and you can see in something underneath there.
Yeah, the picture's not that great. I will look in this one. Oh, there's something. Interesting. The guys, the Russian guys, just went there and explored. Like, look, this pyramid here. There's like a wall.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Capstone on top of it.
So for there to be buildings like this, there had to be larger people and a lot more people than what we have today. This is probably one of the reasons why people can't wrap their head around that these mountains were buildings of some sort, because they're so vast and seem to go, spread out so far. Well, look at our cities today, how vast and how spread out we are. Oh, that's a good picture. That's a better picture of it there. It's hard to say what it is. It looks like there might just be some kind of piece that fell off there.
Yeah, it could be like this.
See how the outside looks like an asphalt? Kind of texture to it, like melted asphalt or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like the rock curtain from the melt.
Yeah. This pyramid here reminds me of the pyramid in Blade Runner. When he goes to that one place, he's flying in, and the building itself looks like a giant pyramid, and it has that opening where they can just go right in when they're flying in. This is what this reminds me of.
Yeah, right in the middle, some kind of like
and it had all those different tiers to it as it's going down its pyramidal structure. Yeah. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Motherfucker.
Sorry.
All right. You can see like the round, this thing that they showed right here, that they call the mirror or something.
Right.
That's one I showed you. So again, I think
Wow.
you get the
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, look at how melted that is. Wow. All right, let's zoom back out for a second. You can see the melt, how it come down and spread out over other things. Okay. So we can't see what this structure originally looked like because it's too muffed up, but you can see how the building itself melted down and spread outward.
Yeah. And filled all of this. And then there was probably water for a couple days, maybe weeks, just to wash the excess. And that's what we got.
The flood comes in. I think the flood was part of the cooling event that took place. For me, my theory is, now I could be wrong, I wasn't there and I just don't know, but for me, it resonates as feeling true that whatever heat event was taking place, that heat was rising and it could possibly rise all the way up to the dome. And if the dome is made of a crystalline ice structure of some sort, it could shed and start to rain for 40 days.
Yes, and just the condensation of the heat makes a lot of
Right.
water.
Yep.
So, and water cannot go out because we're in an enclosed structure, you know.
That's right.
And I guess this place is just amazing. Again, so melted, so much evidence. And again, you can see that there's other pyramids around this.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look, you could just see the melt. I don't know how you can't see it, but I can see it. And I guess at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, is that I can see it.
Exactly. I thought that I had this is just a painting.
Yeah, that's crazy looking now. So the two lakes that are near this pyramid is one is a freshwater lake and one is a saltwater lake.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Both can be used to power a power plant, by the way, or cooling ponds.
Oh, this
Look
one's
at
nice.
that. Oh my gosh, just look at it. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible right there.
This is the one that the with the less snow that I
Right.
could.
Yes.
Yes.
That is too much right there. Wow. Can you zoom in? Yeah, look at that part there where you can see where it slid down sideways.
Which one?
Right in the center. Go back to the center part of the pic.
Oh, this.
Yeah, right there. You can see how it slid down and it was going sideways.
Yes.
Look at the perfectly uniform columns going all the way around this thing. Down at the base, just down a little bit further. Your cursor right there. Yeah, look at them. See them? And they run all the way around the side there too. They get smaller, but it looks like because there was some kind of the meltage got into it right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can even see some kind of other pyramid shape right here.
Yep. Oh, wow. There's got to be all kinds of pockets of survival within this thing. If you can find a way in, there's probably caves and tunnels and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes.
What's that there in the center? What is that, a doorway? What is that?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like some kind of opening.
Wow. So it looks like there's definitely a top to it. It definitely goes to a point of some sort.
Yeah, what's left? What's left of it?
Here, what's under there?
another one. This one you can see now it's in the clouds, but you can see the other one here.
Ooh, look at that one. Yeah, I like the black and white pictures sometimes because it gives you that stark contrast and helps pull out the apertures. Of course, you have to be careful of shadowing. Like this type of day, you're going to have shadowing. But yeah, the black and white, sometimes when you just change the filter, it brings out stuff more.
Yes.
Wow, look at that meltage right there. Wow, look at that, guys. That was guys, it was a building. It's melted. You can see it. You can see the arch. See the arch right there? Yeah. And then right next to it, right where your cursor is, all that down below it, that's all drippy melt right there.
Yeah. See this is new.
Yeah, that's new for tourism.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Look at this. Little pockets of survival here. You can even see how it was running down and dripping down. Look at the walls above these doorways here, and you can see the drippy, runny stuff coming down. Look at that. And then you got the warped out, janky windows and doorways, just like we see at Petra. Petra is a melted city. It's not petrified or anything. It's melted all day long, every day of the week. Petra is melted. If you want to start out on Meltology and start figuring this shit out, go look at Petra. That shit is not carved. They did not carve smooth facades, okay, with their pickaxes.
Look at this background here.
God, look at that. Just look at it. When you know what you're looking at, it's completely and utterly amazing. It really is.
This is a closer look.
Wow.
Yet you can see that this is a wall. It's the same thing as this, you know. Same thing here. It is here. But now it's not that affected, you know. Like,
Exactly. You can even see, yeah, the very tops of that wall look just like the ones above it.
yeah, just like this.
And that line goes all the way through. Follow that line on that ridge all the way through, all the way down. Look at it. Look at it. It's not sedimentary layers, guys. They're lying to you. If you're still buying the sedimentary geological narrative, you're still living on a globe, calling yourself a flat earther. Just saying.
Seen, yeah, I think we've seen probably most of the.
These cities were built to the heavens. We're seeing the melted down versions of these buildings. They were much larger. If you think this is too much, imagine what it must have looked like before the melt, before the X Factor, before God's judgment. Look at this right here. This is a melted building all day long. John Levy even used this picture in one of his videos.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No,
Building up there.
the
Just
remains.
climb up there and put a house on top of this thing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And as we showed many times, you look at the science fiction movies and they present you all these giant cities that seems infinite. And when we talk about, oh no, it cannot be, you know.
Right.
If it's the future, it's okay, but if it's the past, no. You know.
Good point.
There's no caveman, you know. This is another made-up story.
Fred
Evolution.
Flintstone never existed, guys. They put those cartoons out for kids to try to drive home that narrative. It's called an anchor memory. That's why you have news anchors, so they can anchor these thoughts into your head, and you buy the lie all day long. They were endowed with perception. You know what that is? It's a perception deception. That's why it says in there that they were endowed with perception. That's why they could not see.
Yes.
Perception is not always a good thing. It's a deception if you're perceiving things the way they want you to perceive them, that these are geological features that took millions of years to form on their globe model.
Yes, I agree. And this, okay. It was probably a giant castle at some point, just like all of this, but this is the only part that remains that you can see. The
That's
structure.
obliterated too. Look at the melt coming down out of the middle of the thing.
Yes, exactly. From the biggest, this highest point, because it was probably the weight was the most evident in the highest point, and probably start like from this place, but it could be another sort of event. But looks like the highest point were cataclysm to start, like the some kind of event. But we are still looking at it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are melted away that we walk over every day that we don't even realize. We're only focusing here on the things that we still can see and can make out the melt. But a lot of this stuff, we don't know where ground level is. What is ground level? You know, it's ground. It's ground up because when you brine something up, when it gets ground.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve, for that one, Steve Fennerin.
So you said you wanted to look at Sodom and Gomorrah really fast?
Yeah, let's look a little Sodom and Gomorrah. Another site that they're admitting was a city that has been cooked to ash, or you might say melted.
I think it's...
Because with the levels of heat damage, things can be melted, or they could literally be cooked out to the point where they are building ash, which we call sand today. And this type of really small granular rubble, ground level, ground up stuff.
Yeah.
You have so many folders. We could literally do probably a live stream for a week straight without stopping, going through all your pictures.
More than that, Jen. Oh my God. I've got so much places that are not even classified into folders. It's overwhelming sometimes, but when I got the time, I like to.
Well, I'm gonna put a song on real quick and go pee, and you could try to find that.
Oh,
all right?
that would be great. That would.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Good. Let me see what I'm gonna put on here. Try to find something a little lengthy. All right, let's go with all right. Sorry guys, just thinking here. Looking at my choices. All right, we'll go with this one. It's gonna work.
Yeah. This song about the Babylon system. Listen to the lyrics of this song. Yeah. We need love and unity. Yeah, this is time. We need love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah, this is time. We need education, more than bullets and bombs. Yeah, this is time. We need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. Yeah, this is time. We have to wake up and change the world. As a result of 2,000 years of hypocrisy, ego-driven leaders in pursuit of property, power and wealth and fame, oppressing and murdering, killing all in God's name. Iniquity spread across the nation. Humanity is into separation. In the midst of a darkest hour, we rise to reclaim our power. In this time, we love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. In this time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. We say we not give up, not give up, not give up. Oh no, we not give it, not give it, not give up. dirty politician, brainwash education, war on religion, racial division, food with no nutrition. Hey, this is the Babylon system. Their intention to use all their wicked invention, all the propaganda promoting consumerism. It's all a distraction, only misdirection to break high collection. But if you want come from me, make you know say what I want. This is how I get you ready for the Armageddon. I'm in on for the revolution. Power, love and compassion. Cause if we go at them with weapons, then they have more guns. Go at them with money, then they have more funds. With unification, then time soon done. We owe to our daughters and sons in a decent time. Love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. At this is time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. At this is time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. At this is time, we have to wake up and change the world. At this is time, we need love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. At this is time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. In a this time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. In a this time, we have to wake up and change the world.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. We're back. All right. So did you find the Sodom and Gomorrah stuff?
Yes.
All right. Going next level, baby. Next level truth right here. Oh, I never even put my banner up tonight. Jeez. I'm slacking.
So do you see it? This
Yep.
looks exactly.
So
like,
we're at Sodom and Gomorrah here?
Yes.
Wow.
It's all around the place, around the what is it called? This lake again? The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea, right. Now, this is thousands of miles from Indonesia, where this other place was that we were, Mount Kalesh. And it looks exactly the same, guys.
Yes. No, it was what double 666. That's what he said. That
Yeah, kilometers.
this place, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that it's all melted around this place.
Look
And-
at that.
Yeah.
Wow. You could see it was melting down and just dripping down. Look at it.
And people agree that this was a melted city. I don't know.
This was God's judgment right here, guys. He melted the cities with fervent heat. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Look.
Wow, look at that. Look at that right angle right there.
Yeah. It's the rock curtain as just
Yeah, and
falling.
under it looks like structure right there. Like
Yeah.
part of the building's still there.
Yes, exactly.
Look, you can see like little bricks up there too.
Here,
Yeah, up top there. Yep.
here.
Oh, look at all this stuff down on the ground now. Look, scroll back out. Look at what's right in front of us here, this pile. There's all bricks and stuff here. Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah, I wanted to show a nice video about the coastline in bricks.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, one of Leanne's.
Oh yeah. Bring it up. We'll do it. We'll do it live.
Yeah,
Look at this. Look at these apertures right here.
yeah, this is
Yeah, windows. Looks like little windows and doorways and stuff.
this is the cave that they said that they found the Dead Sea Scroll right here.
Right.
It was just laying right in there. But
Just
then
laying.
this sometimes the stories are just believable. Same place.
Wow. Look at this place. Sodom and Gomorrah, guys.
Yeah. Looks like the canyon. You can see these bricks.
Look at that. It's like a brick wall sticking out right there.
Yeah. And this, just like in California, they have the same thing.
Yeah. Those thick column looking things.
Yes. And it's Israel. It's not California. The Red Canyon, same thing as this. We're gonna probably show it Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, we're going back to California on Sunday, guys, with Karos. He's going to join us again. We're going to do part 2 for California on Sunday. It's going to be epic.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this multi-leveled building right here that's melted.
Exactly. Arches everywhere. Probably was flooring.
See the brick layers? These are not sedimentary layers, guys. When you see these layers, these are brick layers, not sedimentary layers. Sliding sideways.
Yes, sliding sideways.
Wow.
And these.
Is that Lot's wife? I think that's the pillar that they say is Lot's wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It does kind of look like a person.
Yeah, there are many type of these that they call like the lady.
It could be a column too. I mean, I don't know. It looks like there's a right angle there at the base of it, like a brick sticking out.
Yeah.
Interesting either way.
Yeah, this like wall start, but look, there's like an old brick wall here, buried.
Oh yeah, I see it. Hold on.
Yes, look.
Yeah, I see it.
Again, same view of this place. You can clearly see there was like a window.
Oh yeah, look, it's square even. It's
Yeah.
squarish looking. Wow.
Even on the back side.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all the apertures up in there and stuff. I was just going to say that to you.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Because it's supposed to be a melted city. These
Wow. Yeah, the melt is everywhere.
Yes. And this one.
This. Oh my gosh. Just look at it. How do sedimentary layers do that?
They will try to explain that they have been compressed and stretched and everything, but you need heat and pressure to make rock do that, you know. So
That's crazy looking.
yes.
Wow.
And
It's all melted. Look at the brick up there. Look at the brick up there. Oh, that's part of the building right there, guys.
yes. And there's this.
Wow, what is this?
It's the deepest deepest salt mine that they say, I think.
Wow.
This is underneath the place.
Oh gosh, look at this. Yeah, I don't think those are pickaxe marks, guys.
No. Yeah, got the pictures. This big wall. Again, another one.
Wow. Looks like there's an arch there. In the center, kind of off to right there. Yeah. Can't really tell what it is. It does. It's some kind of opening. Yeah. Look at these brick layers, guys. Look at these perfect brick layers and the shit melted down over it. Just like the layering in the canyon where Crystal was at. Crystal Frisbee? Crystal
Yes.
Pyramid?
Yes.
In Arizona. Wow.
Again, broader view of this place. It's so melted.
It's so melted. Wow.
And more of these remains. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a sphinx.
Yes. There's a lot of these sphinxes, but you know, it could have been like a giant tower that just melted on one side and
Right.
just like ice cream. And we still got to do the video you wanted to. With ice cream and things that looks like ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed from God's judgment because of the sins of the people in the cities. They were doing what thou wilt, and this is what happened. Have you not traveled through the land and seen how it was for the people before?
Yeah. I think what they meant to say, it was the old plain was the same all over, not just Sodom and Gomorrah, you know. See layers of the levels that they add.
Yep. Great pics. Thank you so much for this, Chapeau. Wow.
It's the same pics that we already covered from the show that we did about the...
Yeah, that was a while ago. We got to rebroadcast that one. That's not up on this channel.
You've got a couple to put to put back on.
And I got a lot to put back on.
And yeah, you made a couple, maybe four this week, maybe premieres.
Yep, I'm working on it.
Yeah, I have uploaded the past melted states, like the two first one, Alabama and Alaska. But I didn't do like premieres.
Yeah, I got to get Arkansas up there. I still don't have Arkansas, and part 2 of Arizona, I think.
Oh, you've got the part 1?
I got part 1. Okay. I have to put part 2 up. All right, so what's this video we were going to show? You said somebody had a video, the shoreline?
Yes, I want to get into it.
Yeah,
it's been a couple of shows I wanted to show it, but didn't have the opportunity. Oh, there's the one. I forgot about it. I just shot. You wanted to show the patent.
Oh, for the hurricanes, yes.
Yeah. And CFM just put this timestamp of the show that we did.
Thank you. A little laggy on my end.
I can play it like...
Is it there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a patent that was filed, that was abandoned on how to control them. But this patent here, it's an actual device. See, a method is a closer. Here it is. So again, it says abandoned.
Yeah, abandoned. Of course they want you to think it's abandoned. There's still stuff, guys.
But like you can go online and find this stuff and it tells you their patents.
All right, so look, pause it right there. It says hurricane and tornado control device. Hurricane and tornado control device. Control, meaning they control it. They control where it goes, how strong it is, how fast it's going to move, where it's going to stall at and sit over your city for days and flood your ass out. Boom, baby. Thank you, CFM.
Yes, thanks. You know, I've seen it like last week. At the same time, he was bringing it up, I was searching for it.
See how truth works. When you're in line with truth, and it flows to you, and it's flowing to the next person and the next person. You're all converging on the same path of truth. There are people out there who would like to deviate you from your path of truth and try to knock you off of it.
Yes. So this
But
is
once
the
you see
video.
it, you can't unsee it. That's the problem. It's just like flat Earth. Nobody can ever convince me that the Earth isn't flat, because once I saw it, I can't unsee it. And it goes the same for this research, Meltology.
Yes, exactly.
And more and more and more people are starting to see it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be so bold as to say Meltology's taken over, baby.
Yes, I agree, Jen, because and a lot of people just go out and try to film stuff and found stuff, just like Leanne here with her channel Breakthrough. That
Which
we're
we'll
going to show.
have Leanne on the show one day. We're going to nail out a time and a date, and I'm going to have her on. But how many people are in Mountains Are Melted Building Facebook page right now?
It's probably 22,000.
22,000 people looking at all Meltology stuff. 22,000 people just on Facebook, guys. Boom, baby.
Yeah. And
That's just one group.
yeah, and this one it's been stalling for a while. But the other one, the All Mountains, is pretty wrapping up, because I think in 2 weeks, maybe 2,000 people have joined.
You hear that, guy? Within 2 weeks, 2,000 people have joined.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Meltology 101.
So
Hey friends, I couldn't help but come check out this old awesome transition brick beach. Once again, I've made a few videos along here. This is where all the metal's sticking out and things that can skewer and
just like
poke your eye out.
yeah, I'm just trying to find look.
OMG, look at that, guys. And look at all the stuff on the ground around it, all these little bricklets.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to show, because I spoke with Leanne, and she wanted to send me some stuff, but she said that if she comes around my place, she will contact me and maybe meet. So
Yeah, you guys aren't too far from each other, right?
a couple hours.
That's not too bad.
All right, the rest is rocking and rolling. Pavement top, metal. The water's quite
wow.
bigger today. It's not
Yeah, this is on the shore of Lake Ontario.
Yeah. Every time I come here, I see new things. So I've started a little collection.
Look at how many bricks
Two little goodies that I hope to put in my backpack.
they are
Take back up
there.
the gloves and take home and add to my collection. All right, work in a bit. Okay, I know I've shown you a lot of these bricks and variations of transition bricks on this beach right here, but I've just collected a nice little array, like nice little assortment, varieties of transition brick that you can find here, and it's really quite remarkable. So starting with these are super light, both of them. And before I realized what these were, I'd actually collected some of these rocks at a different beach, not too far from here, and cut them and tried polishing them. They were too soft to really give a good polish, but it's beautiful variations of the transition brick. There's so much of this white marble material along here, it's ridiculous. So whether the former inhabitants of what I believe this whole shoreline to have been an ancient building, ancient city, whether they use this material in their construction, maybe it's double, triple zapped over the millennia and throughout the different stages of our civilization here on Earth. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, a piece of that. Of course, these are always really fun, showing transition lines there.
Wow.
There's so much of this over there.
Yeah, these rocks. You know that we found rocks with perfect holes in them. But now we know that they were bricks. They were the holes in the bricks. That's why they have these perfect openings.
Right.
You will
nice
see
and
that she showed.
Showing heat damage, still showing its bricky brickness. Another nice piece of brick transitioning into what I call pebblecrete. I don't want to call it concrete because that suggests it's human made, and I don't think that.
Did you say bricks transitioning to pebbles? Cobblestones?
I think this is a natural process that occurs during these intense heat electrical events. So the brick's still showing. Here's a beauty.
Wow.
Yeah. Worked brick. Okay. Still showing lots of various colors.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you can really see that the heat was not
Yeah, it's like electrical arc around it.
Yes. It all depends of the material, how it's compacted, what is the structure, how many crystal is in this section of the brick. You know, it's there's so many factors. That's why it's DX.
Mm-hmm.
You can put the number you want for, you know, the factor is.
Oopsies. I'm gonna take them home. Here's a nice brick. Showing the heat damage.
Look at that.
Wow. That looks like something I would see in Ape Cave.
Yes.
They say is a lava tube.
Yes.
Here, look, hold on. I'll show you right now. Let's just go to it right now real quick. Just stay right there. Guys, that's a brick.
Every day of the week.
Did it play?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't see it on my end. It didn't show up. Oh, here's another one here. I'll just play this one real quick too.
Just look at it.
There's a Mad Dog Santel saying that he's seeing butterflies, you know.
That's my husband.
Nice little piece of heated brick. Scorched brick. It's quite light actually, still showing its good shape. This is brick. It's like an OG level in it right there. Super light, like it feels like, not quite as light as pumice, but almost that light. Like it's ridiculous how feathery it is.
Yeah, and pumice rock, they say it comes from volcanoes. So
yeah,
this was almost like a pumice.
Right.
There's all sorts of these beautiful transition bricks into this pinks and purples, purple, you know.
You can see that the bricks, the old in the bricks has closed off.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're supposed to be like maybe 3 holes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that one just happened to stay.
Yes.
Stone, a lot of them still maintain the hole. And I think eventually these could turn into what people refer to as hag stones. When they collect them, these maybe go through all the way to the other side, and people collect them thinking that they're good luck or magical or something like that. I used to think that, but now I know they're just lots of transition brick.
Right.
More of these awesome numbers of brick transitioning into the pebblecrete and churned up.
Wow. Now, pause it right there. Go back to where she just showed that other side. It's interesting because when you look at Pompeii and you look at the pavements of Pompeii, the ones that are really cooked out start to look like this. And as it cooks out more, these bricklets get even smaller and smaller, but you can still see them in there, and it actually looks like granite.
Yes, she gonna show a granite piece.
Some variations of color.
Same
with this.
Yeah, look at the mortar line.
Wow.
Nice.
Boom, baby.
It's disappearing. It's changing the color itself.
Crazy.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a good one. I wish I had that one. That's a good one for the. I would love to be on this beach. I'm
Yeah.
coming up with like truckloads of stuff.
That's what I said to her, and she said, "Oh, maybe you can come."
Yeah, dude, that's like a meltologist wet dream. That fucking beach right there.
Yes, yes. And she said, "Oh, but I can send you some pieces, but I don't want her to send you stuff just like that."
No, you got to go there, Shapu. You got to go to this beach. You need to do the boots on the ground.
Yeah, it's a bit far, but maybe one day.
These are fascinating. Oh, and this, I showed this on my last video, and I thought to
These
myself,
yellow
I wish
bricks.
I'd taken it. Well, I just found it again, so I'm taking it home. Now, these are so beautiful.
Yeah, these marble.
This is light as a feather.
Yeah. Like this.
These are gorgeous, and these are all over
All marble that we call
the beach.
marble
And I
now.
tried to collect a bit of a spread of colors for you. Okay, look at the purples, the deep purples in this. You can
Wow.
see the line right there.
The mortar.
And the back just looks like a regular beach stone. Okay. There's another one. It's also
Look at that one.
almost like light blue. So soft and smooth.
You know, she kind of sounds like Crystal Pyramid when she talks.
Rock.
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Transition line.
Yeah, her voice reminds me of Crystal.
Top is green. Beautiful deep green. Again, this is so smooth.
Wow.
The back looks like a regular stone. Here's the transition line. Amazing, huh?
So she does show like the rose quartz.
Sure. They come in peach. Peach pebbles.
Like this, if you see like it was more
like
polished,
deeper pink.
you'll have like a counter, like a marble
Pebbles.
counter.
Right.
Regular cementy color.
Like this one, the pink one right there.
These whites is really nice. Different colored flecks in them. The back again showing some transitioning right there. And a nice light peach as well, similar to that one there. There's my finger.
Her channel is called Brick Truth, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna have to drop the link to this in the chat.
I think someone just did. Yeah, Natalie. Natalie just did. So.
Great, Natalie. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you sub and bell her channel. She's got good stuff on there.
Flat on either side, the top and the bottom. Obviously from a brick. Okay, but that has experienced greater heat or electrical energy and has transitioned further, perhaps, into what we would normally call as granite, which is interesting.
Yep.
I don't know what I left out here.
This
is a.
It seems like everything was something else before the X Factor event. And depending upon where it was and the different levels of heat damage, that would determine what it would become.
Yes. Yes. And in this one, she said, like, this is a piece of the mortar that just became a ball.
And it's stuck there?
Yes.
Wow, that's so cool.
Still stuck inside.
Look.
Wow.
You can still see the mortar on the other side.
Dude, that's epic right there.
Well, this is a neat piece. Scorch marks.
That's so cool. Wow.
Gone through some heat itself. Oh, here's a nice little piece as well of this white material. Just like that. Beautiful. Here's a brick. Pure white brick. Still has this bricky shape. Still has a bit of an indent right here.
Wow.
That is, well, look at it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's all white. And it's kind of rough. It's rough to the touch. It's not quite smooth like this. But I wonder if there's a connection here. And you can see up here, this is a cool piece. Okay, it's being transitioned into pebblecrete. Still showing its original, some of its original brick and mortar, brick and brick, who knows. Some more green, a little nugget. Burn is still left in that transitioning rock. There's so much of this, I just wanted to show you. That just looks like a regular rock in the beach anyone would find. Turn it over, and it's still showing its brickiness.
Nice.
So,
gee, they just took river stones and made cobblestone streets out of them.
these numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes on and on. I collected these.
All of these.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
It's all brick.
It's all
There.
brick.
Yes.
Look at that one right there with the indent in it. Right there in the right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she showed on the. Look, same indent.
Yep.
And this one is now all dark and becoming something else.
That's right. Boom, baby.
Yeah. This place, and she said there's no history of a big giant structure being there, you know. So they must have been like some kind of star fort. That's what I think.
It could have been, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
to have all these bricks there, it should have been like a incredible structure, you know.
I wonder how far out into the water and how far inland it goes.
Yeah, I think she got another video that she goes walking on this beach, and she goes. It's a bit. It's a long way. No, you can see the bricks still have like the letters.
Wow.
And this is the.
Look at that. That looks like granite.
Yeah. It could be like rose granite.
Right. Exactly, dude.
Yeah, just like when she showed these comparisons, just
Video.
crazy.
I found it again. It's quite heavy. But I love the yellow gold flecks in it. So I'm
You can see the yellow bricks. Right in there.
gonna put that on my backpack and see how far I get. All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
That was really good. Really good work. Quite smeltologist right there.
Oh yes, she got a couple of video. That she had. Even look, she went back even more brick with variation, and she went there a couple of times,
Nice.
so everybody can look.
Brick truth.
Yes, and we showed these videos on a past show.
Uh-huh.
Don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Good
But,
stuff.
yeah, what else would I? Oh, I found this. This one was interesting because this guy's playing with the experiments with the cement,
Okay.
and he shows that it creates energy, just compacting cement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the crystalline. It's not the cement itself that makes the energy. It's the piezoelectrics effect in them, because it's a compressed crystalline structure, you know.
Right.
This is what produces it. Then he does like a flashlight. It's the cement flashlight.
So it lights the flashlight off the piezoelectricity from the cement.
Yes. No, just like he just like made from the work of Tesla and John Hutchison.
Right.
You know, just he used like these cans, aluminum cans, and he fills them with cement, and he puts like a copper twirl right in the middle.
A coil?
A coil, yes. A copper coil in the middle, just to have like a wire. And you see he just made like a smaller one here, but I should comment, he should make something to compress, because it's not the cement itself that makes, it's a compression of the piezoelectric that produce the charges.
Right.
But you can see like from this, he's got the same thing as a Duracell battery, a AAA battery.
Right.
1.3 volt. You know, and this square he's got like a 1 volt. But you'll see that he will try to light up these LEDs with his cans. You see that these two cans it's about the same thing as these two batteries.
Wow.
Yeah. Just filled with cement. that he purchased at the store. You know, it's not even the cement that he made,
That's really interesting.
because it's still got all of the crystalline structure of the.
Right.
It's made with the earth. You know. But you'll see that he makes a couple. This channel is like extreme budget. It's called, and he makes a couple experiments on a lot of things. But can't see where is it? You know, he's not that prepared. He's just trying stuff.
That's how you learn. You just gotta try stuff.
Yes. And this is what this guy does. Is probably don't know everything that he does, but seems to work. So now he's trying just to eat it to see if it is gonna change by the eat, because eat still is a energy conductor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you eat something, that the energy just goes travel to the the easiest way, and the easiest way is through these copper spirals, copper coils.
Mm-hmm.
And did I pass it? Anyway, he lights up his LED. I don't know where it is. I should have checked the timestamp, but
Well, we can always just drop this video in the chat and people can look at it, because I'm sure people are interested in doing their own experiments with some guys in here and stuff that are interested in making their own batteries, or God forbid the power does go out and you have a bunch of these cans stacked up and ready to go, you'll have electricity.
yes, exactly. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. That's what I had. Still got the Russian video. No, I guess. Do you have other stuff, Jen?
No, that's pretty much everything I got, and we're almost at the 3-hour mark. I think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all your help with all this. And I do want to leave on a positive note. I have no hate for anybody. I would appreciate if I would not receive hate back. I don't think, people hate me, but they seem to hate the topic of melted buildings and melted red brick and stuff, an X Factor event. If you can see it, that's great. If you can't, stay in your own lane and move on. More power to you. But, condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. And we're 3 years into this investigation. And, we're pretty seasoned in this stuff. I don't claim to be an expert or know everything. Neither does Shapu. But we are very familiar with different levels of heat damage and what the meltification looks like, what it takes to melt this type of material, the temperatures that we're talking about, and the boots on the ground that we've all done. I've been to Ape Cave. I've shown numerous videos of us being there and picking up brick and walking over brick left and right. And this is supposed to be a lava tube that's not even connected to the volcano that's 9 miles away that they say it comes from.
That's crazy.
But I am going to leave on this note real quick before we get out of here. I'm just going to reiterate this one more time.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Exactly. It takes a couple of... Oh, you're still muted. No. Yeah, no, it's okay.
There it goes. It gets stuck sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't bring me off mute like it should, and then I click on it, it just sits there and does nothing. But yeah, thank you again, Shapu. I really appreciate you. And Shapu's link is in the description below. If you're not already subbed and belled to his channel, you should be. Get subbed to him. And we also have the BitChute link for the Ripple Effect archive, which is in the description below. And if you would like to donate to help my kids out down there in Fort Myers, that would be great as well. Every little bit helps. The donation links are also in the description below this video, or live stream, you should say. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing.
Thanks, everyone.
We're out of here.